Essentially, this is the one-stop shop for everything solar and electrical for your camper van build. Welcome back to Seize the Adventure, and in today's episode we are going to be talking about the solar/electrical setup that I have in my self-converted camper van. This is going to be a straightforward and easy to follow guide that you can simply implement when designing your solar setup in your camper van. But if we're going to be talking about anything electrical, everything that's electrical in my van is all completely powered by the sun. And I think this is such an incredible concept, and I would like to share this with you and kind of simplify it to make it a little bit easier for the average self-conversion. Not only am I going to explain my setup, but I'm going to have links to every single thing that I bought down in the description of this video. Essentially, this is the one-stop shop for everything solar and electrical for your camper van build. And the reason that I've decided to do this video now and not during the van build process is because I actually wanted to test my systems before putting this out on YouTube, so you can thank me later. I can confidently say that everything has been working excellent, and now I am ready to explain kind of what I did. And since we're going to be talking about solar, I can also confidently say that the rain in the Pacific Northwest is kind of a drag. I've been here for 3 years now, and the winter and springtime is rough. It seems like everywhere else in the country is starting to get those warm 70, sunny degree days, and here we still have the pattering of the rain hitting the van ceiling, so I don't know, food for thought if you're thinking about moving here. So if you're new here, welcome. This is my 1997 Dodge Ram B2500 camper van that was once a wheelchair van that I converted into a log cabin on wheels. This is my second camper van build, and in my very first one, which was a 2000 GMC Safari, I used a Jackery system. Now, these solar generator systems are incredible, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Solar generators are a really easy way to get into van life, get into car camping. This is because solar generators have a built-in inverter. You can do AC and DC right off the bat with them. You can also charge them with your vehicle as well as an AC port in your house. And another benefit about them is you have to just buy one unit, everything comes together, and it's just plug and play. The one downfall of them is you can't upgrade them. And what's cool about creating your own solar electrical system for your car camping or your van life, truck camper, whatever it may be, you can upgrade your DIY system as well as customize it to your specific needs. So this is the route that I've taken on my second build. And don't get me wrong, there is plenty of other people out there that know an infinity amount more than I do about electrical about solar setups, about van builds in general. This is just simply the documentation of how I set up my build, and a disclaimer, I am not a professional, so use this information with caution. Personally, I think the easiest way for me to explain this to you is draw out a simple diagram on a piece of paper where I can kind of go over the different pieces and explain how to connect them. So let's just jump straight into it. So let's start with the panels up on the roof. So up on the roof, we have two 100 watt Renogy panels. These two 100 watt panels are connected in series, connected to our 40 amp MPPT charge controller by Renogy as well. I have an entire video of me installing the two 100 watt Renogy solar panels up onto the roof of the van, and this was in the 200 watt Renogy solar premium kit. So then the other components of this electrical system is a 200 amp hour AGM battery. It seems like there's two accepted types of batteries in the van life community. This is the AGM battery as well as the LiPo 4 batteries. The LiPo 4 batteries are the better battery. You can run them down much lower. With the AGMs, you can only run them down to 50%. Now, the reason why I went with a 200 amp hour Renogy AGM battery, there's two reasons for this. One, AGM batteries are simply cheaper. Reason number two is I kind of found from my research that the AGM batteries can withstand and charge in lower temperatures. I live in the Pacific Northwest. It's not super cold here, but it does get cold in some areas, and I did not want to risk damaging my batteries. So we have that 200 amp hour AGM battery. We have a 1000 watt inverter. This is our AC power. This inverter is also a Renogy product. And then I have a 12 volt fuse block. This is our DC power. Then we have two bus bars, one for positive, one for negative. This will be our negative. This will be our positive. And there's 4 terminals on each of those bus bars. So we have our panels, our charge controller, our battery, our inverter, our fuse block, and our bus bars. These are all the essential pieces that you're going to need to set up your system. I suppose you can cut out the inverter if you're not going to need AC power, or your fuse block if you're not going to need DC power. But from my understanding, this is what you're going to need if you want to run AC power as well as DC power. So each of these components, these are the necessary components like I had mentioned, these are all connected to the bus bar. You have one wire that's connected to the positive, one wire that's connected to the negative. So now the current from these panels can move into the charge controller, which can then be stored inside of this battery. Then this battery then can convert this energy either into AC power, or it could come out straight raw 12 volt DC power. And like I said, everything will be linked in the description below. It's time to determine what you're going to actually be powering on AC, what you will be powering on DC. For my DC appliances, I have a diesel heater. I have a 12 volt water pump. I have a max fan. And I have my lights on a dimmer switch. I almost forgot, I also have a USB charging port to charge various devices. Now, each of these are going to be connected to our 12 volt fuse block. They also have a positive and a negative. All you need is the proper fuse, and you can find that in each of the different appliances user manuals. Now, the reason why I have a 1000 watt AC inverter is for my fridge. This is the only thing that I have hooked up to my inverter. Now, they do make 12 volt refrigerators, but I already had this little fridge in my garage, so I went this route. I didn't need to buy a 12 volt refrigerator. Now, this one is definitely less efficient than a 12 volt refrigerator, but I haven't had any problems with it yet. So I just think this came out super nicely, and I'm really happy that I went with this little residential style mini fridge. So I know this is not the most detailed diagram, but I just kind of wanted to generally show you what is connected to what you necessarily need to buy. Although this was a quick video, I just wanted to get one out to you guys explaining something that's a kind of crucial part of your camper van build. I know when I was looking up on the internet for just short, simple solar setups, I was kind of getting these long-winded answers, and I just needed something that was just quick, easy, and simple, that also provided me with a list of everything that I needed to buy. So this is that video. I just wanted to provide you with a quick list of everything that I bought, kind of how it was all hooked up together, and this way you can create your own opinion, create your own setup, and just kind of use this as a base knowledge. I want to thank you so much for making it to the end of this video, and as always, we'll see you in the next adventure.